think Arsenal have thrown their chances away, of winning the league and certainly competing with Liverpool because yesterday they just had to win against Aston Villa because the way Liverpool have been playing this season, they just seem to have the role of the green. And of course, they've been playing very good football. They don't seem to, doesn't look like they'll be stopping anytime soon. Their good form, their good momentum will be stopping anytime soon. So Arsenal should have won the game yesterday. They were 2 goals up, somehow managed to, throw away the 2 goal lead. Aston Villa, kudos to them, pulled 2 goals back. Oli Watkins, key, to that sort of what I call it resurgence or comeback. So Arsenal, I think they're done for this season, and that's what I was saying at the beginning of the season. I was saying, Chelsea, rather Arsenal needs to sign a striker. People criticizing Havertz, people going at Havertz, people saying Kai Havertz doesn't score goals, should score more goals. He is not a striker. He's never been a striker. Arsenal should have signed a striker this season, and they did not. So the blame is entirely on Miguel Arteta and Edu or whoever the sporting director is. And funny enough, general transfer window is open, so they can still look to sign a striker. Victor Osimhen is there, Yokeresh is there, even Liam Delap is there if they want to. So you have the strikers available. It's up to them to see if they can get those strikers. But for me, I think they have done, their the title challenge a wall of hearts because I don't think they can come back. In fact, for me, I feel Liverpool. This is Liverpool's title right now to lose. It's a title right now to lose. I don't think anyone else can really, really compete with them, in terms of winning. Now, this is not because they've been on good form. Don't get me wrong. Liverpool have been on, you know, excellent form, but the the thing is that the chasing pack or the would be competitors have been poor. Chelsea was so close, to topping the league at least for a couple of hours. Was in second, riding high, then suddenly everything just seemed to have fallen apart. Enzo Maresca getting tactics wrong, players dropping out of form, like players like Jackson, players like Palmer. He's been on good nick, but if you really are critical, you would notice he's dropped off just a tiny bit. And at the highest level, if you drop off just 1% or 2, it becomes obvious and your team starts dropping points and you start losing games that you should draw at least and you start drawing games you should be winning, i.e. the game versus Bournemouth. So I think Arsenal have thrown their title challenge away, in my opinion. So maybe they prepare to go for next season, but they keep pushing, except miracles. A miracle happens and, miracles could always happen. But they must get the striker in this window because they don't have a winger like Mo Salah. Don't forget, Mo Salah is a winger that can get you goals. They don't have X factors like Jota that can, out of the blues, get you goals. And Kiers, I think, will be important for Liverpool as well. Nunes is always criticized, but he got 2 goals for Liverpool yesterday, and the way the team seems to be playing, so I think Arsenal have done their that challenge a world of heart. And so I think it's now left for them to compete with Nottingham Forest for second spot. I'd have loved to see Chelsea is in the mix for second or third spot, but the way the team has been playing has been so poor, in my opinion. So I think Chelsea don't really stand a chance. Though just be playing today against Wolves that have been in bad form, but you always know each time you talk about Chelsea coming up against a team that in sort of poor form, Chelsea becomes charity FC. They become motivational FC. Where they motivate a team in poor in poor form to come back to the nick of it, to start winning games, to start, like a charity organization, to start giving away 3 points. So, but hopefully it's not the case of Monday. So that goes, and Man City is there as well. And one thing, even Liverpool, you don't want to happen is for you to be within touching distance of Man City when they get on, go on a roll because we know Man City, they have the ability. If there's any team in the Premier League, Man City has the ability to go 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 games winning streak on 10 game winning streak. So that's if you're looking for top four, you want yourself to be finally embedded in top four. If you're winning the title, if you're looking to win the title like Liverpool, you should be perfectly, you know, maybe 6, 7 points clear, you know, at top of the league, and don't give them any chance. In my opinion, we all know this. So, but back to the point of Arsenal, I think Arsenal, this is it. This is it for them. It's done. At best, they can guess is second spot, and that's if they're not swept up by a Man City tidal wave. So, second spot this season, and let's see how it goes for next season. But this is, I think, this is Liverpool's title to win, to lose or to win, depending on how you look at it. And it would be a real shock, an absolute shocker, if Liverpool don't end up winning the league. Just not trying to put pressure on them, but where they are at this point in the season, this is January, this is, way past or slightly past the midpoint of the season. If you don't win the league this season, then you should be disappointed. And no people say, oh, Arne Slot, this is first year, this is first year at the club, and so we shouldn't be expected to win. But he is in that spot. He is in that position. So, it's just like saying, you don't, you never would buy a car. You want to buy a car, you don't have the money to buy a car. But then you win a lottery of £1 million. If you don't buy that car, then you can't say, oh, I just got this money. No, you have the resources to do it now, but you're unable to do it. It's just like saying, there's a job available, maybe as a project manager, a job is available for you to get, but you're saying it's a job that you don't think you can ever get, but it comes to the point where you are the only applicant that they're interviewing. Every other applicant has fallen by the wayside. You are the only applicant. Now, if you end up losing that job, then it's your fault. So the same thing. The title is there for Liverpool to win. They are the favorites, and I think they should win the league come, the end of the season. And then the second topic I really want to talk about is the transfer window. And I think Man City at this minute are currently winning it. They're currently winning the transfer window. I know I've talked about the possibility of their form kicking in, and I don't think they've done themselves any disservice by getting the talents they've got. They've got Kushinov, from Arsenal. Funny, Arsenal got him for 100 million, was it? No, 100,000 pounds, and now they're probably it's about £50 million now. That's what Man City will be paying for him, and they're getting Vito Reis as well, from Palmeiras. That's Man City getting Vito Reis as well from Palmeiras. Brazilian wonder kid, central defender coming in as well. Let's see what he does. And they're getting Omar Mamouche, the Egyptian forward that's been on scintillating form for Frankfurt in the Bundesliga now, so he'll be joining them. I just hope, for Man City's sake, for the sake of Man City fans, that he's actually given the same freedom he had at Frankfurt. Because one thing we see with many coaches nowadays is you see a player playing well as maybe a right winger, an inverted right winger, then you bring him on, you sign him and play him as a number 10. You sign him and play him as a striker, or you sign him and play him as a wing back, and then he struggles, and then the fan base of that club throws their arms up in the air and say, oh, this player we signed is not that good. And then you have rival fans bantering and saying he's not that good, or he's mid, it's not up to the standard, it's not light enough. But I hope Omar Mamouche is played to his strength. For the sake of Man City fans, as Chelsea fans, I don't really want him to do well, but let's see how that goes for Man City. So I think they are winning. They are winning the transfer window so far. The other clubs are sitting on their hands and they're watching. And this is what I've said previously. When you talk about 115 charges, that's not why you're not going to win the league. That's not why you're not going to finish top four. It's because of what your club does. That's why you win. That's why you will not win the league as a Chelsea fan. That's why Chelsea may not even be in the top four, because of decisions the board have made. Should have signed from the beginning of last season. You knew Chelsea needed a number 9. Jackson wasn't an out-and-out striker, and then you didn't sign a striker. Just Jackson went along with Jackson. went into the season knowing that a number nine was paramount. A number nine was important to sign to achieve the goals that the club supposedly have set up. But you refused to do that as well. You had a run at Samuel Morigian. Should have signed him, complete the deal. For whatever reason, you're friends with George Mendes, the agent of Jao Felix, and then you find a reason to scoop out that deal just to get Jao Felix, in, or to sort of be on good terms with George Mendes because he manages a lot of players, that you think you may be interested in come the next transfer window, and then you get Jao Felix in. Like I said, a good player, but not what was needed. He went on to get Perneto, a good player, but not what was needed at that time. Because at that time, I think Mikhailo Mudryk was good enough. Noni Madueke was good enough. And you would have then got a striker. A striker was paramount. You get a striker, and then all these other pieces then make sense. Then you had a free run at, Victor Osimhen, and then that became some sort of joke trying to make the guy look that will reduce the value of a player. And a lot of fans started calling Osimhen greedy, started calling him names, started saying he's a mercenary, but saying silly things like, oh, he was earning £40,000 previously, and then Napoli started paid him about 100 plus or 200,000 pounds a week, and so he should accept lower. Why would he do that? Why would you do that? If you're working at a job, you're earning £50,000 a year. Let's create this scenario. First, you start at one job at XYJ company, you're earning £20,000 a year. And then in less than a year, you apply for another job, you end up in a job where you're earning 45 grand a year. So does that mean if you're going for another job, they should tell you, oh, you started less than 24 months ago, you were earning 20 plus £1,000 a month a year. So we want you to go back to that. That doesn't make sense. So made a complete joke, made a complete mess of the whole thing. Missed out on Victor Osimhen. Now no strikers. Similarly with Arsenal, you knew you needed a striker, came up with different excuses. And one of the problems that football has at this minute is you have a lot of fans that like to kiss up to their clubs, that don't like to be, objective, don't like to read, to say what they see. Arsenal fans saying Kai Havertz is a good enough forward, good with Kai Havertz. We don't need an actual number 9. We don't need a Gyökeres. We don't need a Victor Osimhen. He's good, but now you're seeing it. Being a striker is different. The instinct of a striker to score goals is different. The same thing, the instinct of a centre back is different from the instinct of a right back. So all this into now teams are beginning to feel the pressure. Teams are beginning to feel, are beginning are beginning to feel the pressure. And now, if Man City goes on a run after signing all these players, a lot of people will say, oh, 115 charges, 115 charges. Well, how about your club? Have you held your club accountable? Have you held your club accountable? So for me, I think Liverpool win the league this season. It pains me to say, because one team I don't want to win anything is Liverpool, but it's not about what I want. It's about the decision they made and how they're playing on the pitch. So that determines whether they win or they lose. And right now they're in really, really good nick. Hopefully Chelsea can get into the top 4 this season and win the Conference League. Let's see how it goes. But apart from Man City, who else do you think is coming close to winning the transfer window so far? Or do you even think they win the transfer window? For me, I think they are winning the transfer window at this point.